Hello, my name is Tyler Fieldgrove, and the topic I chose was refugees in Nebraska. Um, so one of the things that I picked, one of the reasons why I picked it is there's a few articles here that are great uh, resources about refugees in Nebraska. This is a little video about what Omaha is doing with the current Afghan refugees after America pulled out. The Taliban took over, there was a large need, and the Omaha Public School District uh, took in a lot of these refugees. This article is about um, different students, not just mainly it was focusing on college students, and just kind of like it's mostly UNL students and all the whether it was refugees or just migrant people. Uh, and then this one shows actually last semester one of the principals from the an elementary school in Lexington came and talked to one of our classes, and he has more refugees now, especially from Somalia and Sudan and now Africa. And this has a little data about the how many refugees. Now this is from 2019. This is before the surge of Afghan refugees, and it shows that there were 52 refugees in Lexington, and I believe there are more now. One of the reasons why I picked this topic is because we live in a traditionally conservative state here in Nebraska, and that's a hot topic issue for a lot of conservative people who don't really want to let anyone into the country, let alone refugees from from certain countries, we'll say. Um, so I think it's just the basic human right that they deserve safety and an education here. And I think it's very important that we as Nebraskans take in these students. I mean, a lot of these refugees are being forced to go to these bigger and bigger towns, but like I think the more rural schools they could take in more families because there's room for them. Housing is cheap, and there's plenty of jobs to go around for refugees, and schools could use some diversification within them to show these other students some different cultures instead of being so homogenous. When I was in middle school, it was much different. There was there was no much really wasn't much talk of refugees. I went to middle school a long time ago, I guess. Feels like anyways, about 10 years. So there was refugees, but especially not in Nebraska. Most of them were going into the coastal cities on the east and the west. We had a few immigrants come from Mexico who lived in my neighborhood, so I got to know them pretty well, but they weren't really refugees. Um, so this topic is a lot different than when I was in middle school. Um, Different strategies. I would like to, if the students are comfortable, have them talk about their culture and I don't, if they want to talk about their experience, they can, but I don't want them to feel compelled to do that. Uh, but I have a great position as the history teacher to help the students teach the other students about the history of their country and their culture. We can integrate that into lessons and say if the lesson just so happened to be talking about the history of the Middle East, which is a lot of prehistory, and these students can help me out with what they know, what they were taught, and what they know from their everyday experiences they had as a kid. Um, Not acknowledging this makes the kids feel like what happened to them was insignificant, and this is already a very stressful thing. Moving to a different school within the same town can be stressful for kids, let alone being forced to move because of outside influences from your homeland all the way to America. And people not wanting you there, not acknowledging you, not acknowledging your trauma can absolutely devastate these kids. And they could perform poorly in the classroom. Outside of class, they could act up and misbehave. And so this, just not talking about this and not being mindful of the situation could lead to a lot of bad consequences for these kids, not only immediately, but in the future. So that's one reason why I picked refugees in Nebraska, is to let them know that they have a place here in this great state. Thank you.